And a glimpse of the team as they arrive. A well-dressed and well-groomed group. The Houston Rockets making their way off the bus in anticipation of tonight's game. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. A beautiful evening in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. Our setting tonight, the FedEx Forum. Welcome and good evening. We welcome you to our Monday night broadcast of the NBA here on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys.
Influential with his taste for sure, David. Thank you. And a quick look at how the Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Wednesday, they'll take... on Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then on Friday, they'll begin a long road trip starting in Orlando and going up against the Magic.
And that game against the Spurs, that's going to be one where it would take a lot of errors and maybe a cold shooting night for things to go wrong. They just have that much of an advantage over that team.
Here's the starting group for Houston. Tucker and Capella are up front. Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. And it's Green in at the 3. And for the Grizzlies, Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. Brooks is out there with the great, and it's Anderson in at the small forward.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
You know, he's always thinking. That's what I like about him. Spotted the open man and immediately changed out of his shot and gave it up.
About a minute played so far here in the first.
And, you know, when you get a clean look at the rim, Harden usually will find you. I think he's underrated and undervalued at making his teammates better.
How about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff.
Yeah, right. I don't know how much weight that carries, Kevin.
Capella trying to free himself up. And the foul on Harden. That is his first foul of the game.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark, taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
And you know, guys, when your point guard is making explosive plays at the rim, I really do think it sets the tone for the rest of the team. Boy, this is bad. Tough to watch. I mean, this is really bad. He's stone cold this quarter. Man.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Hey, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one.
Yeah, to glide in and reverse it home like that, so sweet. Whatever the defense gives, that's what he takes. A sign of a skilled offensive player.
And Capella sends it back.
Over a 7'4" wingspan for Clint Capella. That's long, folks, and makes him an intimidating shot blocker.
Here's the great. Really played well against Phoenix in his last outing.
Just so fast. I mean, it's like trying to stop a train when he's coming in for the slam.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. And Westbrook gets it to go.
And Westbrook is a terror from the mid-range. Terrific at sticking it to the defense from that spot on the floor.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
Yeah, I felt like they attacked, but with a purpose. They knew what they wanted to accomplish.
Knocks down the three ball.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
And you know that's how it goes with him. I mean, his hot streaks, guys, don't last minutes. They last days.
And so it's Houston, with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance. Rockets elevated by James Harden to one of the league's powerhouse franchises, and he talks about seizing the moment.
This time isn't going to last long. You know, we have a window. It goes by extremely fast. I cherish these moments. You know, I embrace them.
Never a guarantee that the window will remain open.
And superstar players, let's face it, they're best remembered for their championships. It's all about the rings.
Look at that jam.
Wow. Come
I mean,
on
just
now. Bring the thunder. Rock that rim.
And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness.
Yeah, I'm with you, Kevin, there. I mean, I can't fault the guy for adding a little flavor to things. I'm fine. Even if he'd have missed it, I don't mind them taking a chance to spruce it up a little bit. Man, I can't believe he blew that gimme, guys. Well, I know he's frustrated about that.
It's good from long range.
Savvy move to pull up from three-point range on the break there. When you can shoot it like he can, if you've got it, take it.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
The Grizzlies shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. Some changes for Memphis. Valanciunas, who's checked in for Rab, and it's Jackson in for Jay Crowder.
He's as solid as it gets from the line. I mean, give him the opportunity. He's cashing in on those. You know, at the end of the day, size does matter, especially on the glass.
Let's check out some numbers here for James Harden. Last season, he played outstanding. Last season, averaging 36 points a game, 7 assists and 6 rebounds. And every team in the league needs shooting. That's what he brings coming off the pine.
Yeah, there's always a demand for shooters, man. Have jumper, will travel. I'm telling you. Most championship teams, they have a bunch of those guys who can put it in the basket.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Anderson's checked in.
You know, even though they have the lead, you can tell he's frustrated with himself that he's not doing more.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Well, I tell you what, guys, the young kids like to say, that's doing too much. That falls into that category. That was too much.
Whether he's attacking the basket or squaring up from long range, Westbrook is always staying. And Kevin, even though they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular, and he did.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it.
I agree. I mean, now's when they need a spark the most.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second, a nice way to get your offense going.
And maybe cause some foul trouble along the way as well. We know what that can do. It pays off typically in good fashion for you.
It's good, and the Rocket lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from the great.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
Hey, guys standing around spectating, I mean, you got to get in there and get tough.
Timeout called the Rockets. And for the Western Conference, we have a chance now to recognize our Player of the Week the great.
Well, you just look at the scoring he's provided and the numbers he has put up, and it's a no-brainer. Rarely does someone carry an offense this much and not walk away with some form of hardware for their effort.
And the rejection by Valanciunas. And here comes the break. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, embarrassing. He just lost his concentration for a split second. And that's all it took.
And the shot is good. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Houston.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, how about the fact defensively they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
That's tipped. With it, he's picked up by Morant.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
A nice shot by Anderson.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Valanciunas trying to free himself up. Buries the long-range jumper. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game. How it's been going for the Grizzlies.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots. A key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far. You know, he's been off tonight, off his game. At this point, he might want to focus on creating for others.
It's stolen by Capella.
And if they're thinking they can get a 2-for-1 here.
Well, we'll see if they have the awareness to realize that.
That one's good, and the Grizzly lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Westbrook.
How about that wonderful floater he has, showing off an exquisite touch.
Putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Well, I tell you what, guys, the young kids like to say, that's doing too much. That falls into that category. That was too much.
A nice finish there. Morant taking advantage of the defense. Someone actively looking to score whenever he can.
And so it's Memphis with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're feeling very confident shooting the ball.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident?
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. It's Memphis out in front at the half. That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. It's been one outstanding game from the great.
In that first half, he was a hot knife, and the defense was butter, sliced right through them.
Well, you know what, guys? My question is this. Who's he going to posterize in this half? You know, we've already gotten a number of filthy dunks out of him.
Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. The great out there with Brooks. And it's Anderson in at the 3, the small forward. And that's the group for Taylor Jenkins as we begin the second half. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And a quick look at how the Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. The Minnesota Timberwolves will come into town. And then on Friday, they'll begin a long road trip starting in Orlando and going up against the Magic.
And for the game with the Mavericks, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll. And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. So we'll see Russell Westbrook go to the line here. It's on Jonas Valanciunas. The Rockets shooting their first free throw of the evening. Free throw good, Westbrook.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
For Memphis, they have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now. That free throw, no good. Jackson, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. And the second free throw, good. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Valanciunas on the double team. Capella trying to free himself up.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
Well, that might be fair, Greg, but I wouldn't want to take away from what he did in that last game. I mean, let's just say it's a pretty nice run he's on, no matter how you decide to frame it up.
Rabs checked in for Memphis. Crowder comes in for Jaren Jackson. The Grizzlies had missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7.
And their numbers from the line last season, they're good, just not great, about 77% as a team.
You know, it's really hard to match up against Clint Capella's height and length. I mean, sometimes you got to foul him.
For Houston, they have shot just 1 free throw earlier, 1 for 1 in the game. For the Rockets, Tyson Chandler is checked in for P.J. Tucker, and McLemore subbed in for Green. And Capella sends it back, and they're able to recover.
I love when Harden uses that great leaping ability to finish with power.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. And the shot's good from Crowder.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
He is delivering a lot of room service times tonight. One sweet one after another.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
And that's terribly demoralizing for a defense, guys. I mean, they know he's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and that they may not have an answer for him.
Loving the energy right now here in the third quarter as they try to take control of this game.
And I really think this is the time to do it, because this is a real important juncture in the ball game right here.
The Grizzlies have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8. Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Daniel House is checked in for Clint Capella. Gordon comes in for James Harden. And it's Austin Rivers in for Russell Westbrook. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson.
Looking at some numbers for Rivers. Last season's performance for him averaged 8 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds.
It's good. And so it's the Memphis Grizzlies sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. Right back after this break. Let's hear what Mike D'Antoni was going over with his team moments ago.
Come on, guys. Come on. Play our game. Play our game. Get into them. Play our game. Come on now. Let's go.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. So on the floor for Houston, Tucker and Capella are up. Front. Harden out there with Austin Rivers, and it's Green in at the 3-side.
Well, I tell you what, Clint Capella does a really good job of playing with such energy and effort, particularly on the glass, and because of that, he can hurt you on the boards.
Jackson trying to break free. It's good. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Grizzlies.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets.
And that one's good. Morant.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
That one's good, and the Grizzly lead is cut back down to 11 now as they get an important basket that time from Rivers.
Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision excellent.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
Stolen by Harden. Capella trying to free himself up. One-on-one fast break. Valanciunas, good.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
And with that shot, the Grizzly lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from James Harden.
And, you know, Harden is super reliable from outside the arc. He's got that sweet lefty stroke, and it's a thing of beauty to watch.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
Ooh, that's an old-fashioned rim wrap.
Just a remarkable gem. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
Platinum level highlight reel material. That is Showtime stuff there.
Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on you.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, the Great.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth. And the call will go against the Great. That is his first foul of the game. 1:51 left to play in the final quarter. Stolen by Jackson. And that one's good. Brooks.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
I don't think you want to get loose and sloppy or ease up, but it is time for them to start using that clock a bit.
That one goes in. There's the double team with Westbrook. Stolen by Harden.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Grizzlies.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight, Greg. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the player.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for the Great.
Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
The turnover by Memphis.
You know, that's just sloppy basketball, giving away a possession. No real reason for that turnover.
And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Beyond the leaning, you could see.
11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Connects from three-point range. So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And we'll see. Welcome, everyone. It's time for NBA action. Coming to you live. DA, take it away.
Well, we all saw.
Basketball giving away a possession. No real.
Welcome, everyone. It's time for NBA action. Coming to you live. DA, take it away. Winning a big part of it, David. Thank you. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers.
Over the past 5 games, maybe he'll be more involved here tonight.
Now let's check out our starters for the Los Angeles Lakers. Green and LeBron at the 2 and the 3. Up front, it's Kuzma and Davis. And it's the great in a point. And for Memphis, Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. The great out there with Allen, and it's Anderson in at the 3. Now here's Green. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Pass to the great for 3. Trying to get open is Davis. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game. In the new season, Chris, every team wants that fast start, but when you really think about it, how important is that in the grand scheme of things?
Well, it depends on where you are. Like, let's think about Houston last year. With the injuries, you don't want to get to a slow start where you're fighting for home court advantage. So it's very important. And usually veteran teams know that first 2-3 weeks of the season is when you can sneak teams. And if you're a younger team and you understand that, wait a minute, it's all about attention to detail, focus, and playing hard, you can get some pretty nice upsets early, because when for young teams, once the scout report comes out and teams hone in on you, it might be a little bit more of a difficult season as the days go ahead. Yeah, watch out. Surprise everyone by passing out of his shot. What a fantastic dish.
And it's good. 2 points.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting... Oh! Come on. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Wow. We are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special. And good that time.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a perfect 4-for-4 start for them. Now they're just getting all the shots they want.
Knocked away. Stolen by Anderson. And Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
Valanciunas trying to free himself up. Good.
He's perfect from the field this quarter. He's giving them fits out there. Hard work on the boards. A lot of competition for that one, but he's got the limp to be the first one, too.
That one good for 2.
He's got some pep in this stuff tonight.
He's checked in for the Lakers. Here's Caldwell Pope. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And here comes
a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Valanciunas trying to free himself up.
He's forcing things a little bit in this quarter, settling for shots. He'd be better off passing up.
And the rejection by Valanciunas.
Oh, a good shot blocker who competes hard on defense. Defenders better think twice before trying Valanciunas.
taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
No, but his teammate. Oh, wow. Look out.
It's a beautiful jam.
Oh, he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Trying to get open is Kuzma. Drills the three-pointer.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
Well, when he's hitting from range on a consistent basis, it makes everything easier offensively.
And that is a punch to the jaw. This game, as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game.
Ooh, I don't think he planned it too far in advance. That was one of those things, you know, Greg, that just happened. That one goes. Count it.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the float.
Good on that shot. And with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from the great.
Oh, and look what this fella can do. Beautiful.
As hot as he's getting, they have to plan on bringing the double team every time he touches it.
So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Rabs checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Jay Crowder comes in for Jackson. Jackson, he's checked in for Kyle Anderson. And Brooks subbed in for Allen. The Lakers also changing it up. Davis is checked in for Kyle Kuzma. And Bradley subbed in for Danny Green.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
Yeah, he's just not giving the ball up. He's passing with a purpose. And this lead the scores.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart, and let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David.
Thanks.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
A competitive matchup for the Lakers. And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. It's been one outstanding game from the great.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And as they can't slow him down, you know what you do? You keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. This is the right game plan.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So on the floor for Memphis, Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. Allen is out there with the great, and it's Anderson in at the 3 spot.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Kuzma, that's good.
Masterful at timing, when to go after offensive rebound. Kuzma excels at getting the right position.
That one's good. The Laker lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from the great.
He has definitely shown up to play. He's done his part, really just trying to battle his team back into it.
Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. LeBron trying to free himself up. Valanciunas trying to free himself up. He gets it in there.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. He's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency. It might take him a little while to find their stride here in the second half. Only 1 for 4 so far. He needs to calm down, play their game.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. And a quick look now at how the Memphis Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Monday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. And then on Wednesday, they'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Los Angeles Clippers. Davis with it. Now Valanciunas defending and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on Jonas Valanciunas. The Lakers have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. And that one falls for Davis. Crowder, he's... There's 47 seconds left in the third quarter.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Oh, man, you just want to go find some place to hide, man. It's almost impossible to miss that. He doesn't play around. If the buck is there for him, he's going to get it.
Here's the great. He has 38 in the game. Maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
And you could tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
Oh, man, did you see him close that gap? What a great job.
It's a tie game in Memphis, and we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. And on the court for the Lakers to start the fourth. The two megastars are the big men, LeBron and Davis. Avery Bradley is out there with Green, and it's Iguodala in at the 3 spot. A three-pointer is blocked.
With the game he's having, there's no doubt he'll be the guy they lean on to protect the lead.
First one falls for him.
For all those people waiting for LeBron to start showing his age, you might not want to start holding your breath. This man's got a lot of time left in this league.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Andre Iguodala. And the great subbed in for Bradley.
And the chance to take the lead gets away because of the miss.
Valanciunas trying to free himself up.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm. You love how each side has risen to the challenge throughout this one.
Yeah, it seems like whenever one team scores, the other comes right back with a bucket of its own.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. Without question, the great displaying his skills today.
They can't leave him alone for a second on the perimeter. Not the way he's shooting the three tonight.
Some changes for Memphis. Jaren Jackson comes in for Rapp, and it's Kyle Anderson in for Jackson. Jackson trying to break free, and they pick up 2.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
Well, Greg, this is why they go to him in these spots. I mean, they trust his judgment and ability to score down the stretch.
Trying to get open is Davis.
Tells you a little something about their team. They've been able to pull in front despite his struggles.
Drains the three-pointer. Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
Yeah, well, who knows? We might need overtime in this one. It's been that kind of a game. Yeah, easy call.
And he knocks down the first one. He's perfect from the line this time.
No, his free throw shooting is something they never need to worry about. He doesn't even know how to go through a cold stretch.
And good, he hits it again.
And he's up to 52 points.
Yeah, making a GA look all too easy right now. The shot's good. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Here's the great. And they double up James. Shot's good by Green.
Oh, the timing couldn't have been better on that assist.
Just the kind of play they need in a game this close.
You know, that's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
Yeah, Kevin, this is why they go to him. When the game is tight, he ups his intensity level.
The basket.
Vital basket there. This is just the time and really just the situation when he looks to take over.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're behind by 2. There's 1:54 left in the fourth quarter of this one. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, the Great.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
And Memphis making a change here. Allen's checked in.
Save that one. Boys, I'm going to want to see that a few times.
Oh, me too, right? Jaws on the ground all over this building.
What fearlessness. That's got to energize his team.
And he comes up with the deuce.
Oh, I love how James takes hold of these possessions. When his team needs a basket, he steps up to the plate.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. .122 left in the fourth quarter. And Los Angeles turns it over.
Oh, no. Don't tell me. He just didn't do that, did he? A critical point of the game. And he makes just about the worst mistake possible.
Stolen by James. Last break, the Lakers. Yep, that one goes in there.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
That's why they put the ball in his hands. They know they can count on him to make crucial shots.
A shot like that is a polite way to say, hey, coach, bench me.
Yeah, what was that? Did he forget about? Very strange. And James loves these big moments. He isn't afraid to shoot it when the game is on the line.
Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from the great. Good on the triple.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
But these days, so much emphasis on the perimeter game. But you can see why after that sequence.
Knocks down the trifecta.
Fantastic bomb there, just especially against the taller defender.
Trying to get open is Davis.
Looking to tie it up with a big triple.
Let's see what they run here. This is not the time to panic. Work the offense. Oh, it's all about the assist on that play. He puts it in the perfect spot.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Chris Webber, great. As they came through the tunnel earlier, the Pacers were already in all business mode, ready to defend their home floor. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. The tallest building in the state of Indiana, the Chase Tower, rising high above our... A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Pacers. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz. And then on Friday, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks coming into town.
And for that matchup against the Grizzlies, it's going to be an all-out battle. And you just hope they are rested and able to execute their game plan, as it's going to be a tremendous challenge.
Now look at Memphis's starting group. Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. Great out there with Brooks, and it's Anderson in at the small forward position. And for the Pacers, Sabonis and Turner up front. Malcolm Brogdon out there with T.J. McConnell, and it's Warren in at the small forward. Shot clock at 6, knocks it loose, and that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Anderson. And let's take a moment to honor the Western Conference Player of the Week, the great.
You know, just looking back at things, I'd be hard-pressed to find a more complete stretch of games by anyone in the league. He was getting it done and stuffing the stat sheet night in and night out on both ends of the floor. Truly a dominant run.
Hey, Smitty, when a team underperforms early in the season, fans tend to go crazy. I mean, they just can't figure out why this is happening. But what are the players saying to each other on the bench, when they're traveling in the locker room.
You know, I think when you're having great communication, Kevin, with guys amongst each other, you're trying to get through it, you're working through it. Whether you get through it or not is fine. I think there's a sign that things are going wrong. Kevin, you hear about these player-only meetings. When you start having 2 or 3 of those, that's when the ship is starting to go south.
And the call will go against the great. That is his first foul of the game. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. McConnell finds Turner, and it's in there.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
The great passes to Valanciunas.
He's so good at scoring inside. You know Valanciunas can get to the line.
The Grizzlies shooting their first free throws here tonight. The first free throw is good. Valanciunas hits them both. And truly some significant roster changes for the Pacers this past summer.
Jeremy Lamb, Malcolm Brogdon, TJ Warren. They've gotten younger and gotten better as well, if you ask me. Excellent work by the Pacers front office.
First quarter of play with about 1.5 minutes gone. Indiana moving it around. And Memphis turns it over.
To anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yes, getting a little ahead of himself on that play.
An even 3-on-3 break. Lobbed up there for Anderson, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
This is